the Uncle of Carbuncle and Chef Martin. We're in Woodbury, 7903 Jericho Turnpike. And if you've never been there, you have to try the chicken meatballs. They're world renowned. They're in ShopRite. They're in Stop and Shop.
I
They're
get them every
terrific.
single time. They're fantastic.
You got to try them. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
real quick, we're going to talk about Yankees, and then we're going to spend the bulk of the time on the Mets-Dodgers series. Yankees, I mean, when the playoffs started, I saw they had an easy road to the World Series. Kansas City's a nice little team, but they weren't going to beat them. Detroit was on a great run, but those kids weren't going to beat them either. And now they've got Cleveland, who started off real hot and then kind of been off the rails the last couple of months of the season. So I don't see them beating them either. So the real question is the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I'm so glad the Mets won last night because now I don't have to have these two guys crying in their beer.
Yeah, wow.
So let's talk about it. What do you think, Christian?
Game one, 9-0 blowout, wasn't really competitive at all. And I was talking to a lot of my friends who are Mets fans after the game, and they were really down on them. They were like, we made it this far just to get blown out by the Dodgers.
Your dad was that way too.
My dad was one of them, yes. And I said, look, relax. Senga wasn't going to go more than 4 innings anyways. It was going to be a bullpen game. That's okay, losing game one like that. We had Manet on the mound the next day, and I said, we go win that game, we're in good shape. And then look what happens. You go out, Lindor hits a leadoff home run in the top of the first, sets the tone for the rest of the game. We win the game. Now we come back to Citi Field tied 1-1.
Yeah, true. We'll touch on the Yankees. It's almost a foregone conclusion, right? A lot of people just have them in there.
Yep.
I mean, an easier path to the World Series, I don't think there's been.
Yep.
Agree, Kansas City really didn't have the horses to beat them. Now Cleveland, Cleveland's got a great bullpen, but suspect, I think, the pitching. I don't think they're big enough for the moment.
Yeah.
Yankees are flawed, but I think they'll get there. But there's no real excitement. It's just if the Yankees find themselves in a position where they have any kind of adversity, then I'm curious to see how those players will respond to it. The Mets have lived with adversity the last month, right? I mean, they've been in the situation even after that blowout in that first game. I felt like you, Christian. I felt that, listen, it's a loss, right? I mean, how it happens.
1 game.
Yeah, it's 1 game, so you got to kind of separate yourself from it. And this team is the makeup of this team is proven that doesn't affect them, right?
Absolutely.
So if I was talking earlier to Steve, I said, if you go to Los Angeles, what did you want? You want to win 1, right? You want.
Yeah.
So if you know you're going to win 1, which one do you want to win?
The second one, get
Right.
momentum. Absolutely.
So let's see how that plays out. And and the Lindor home run was huge because I don't want to hear any more of that shutout streak. Shut the hell up with that already. All right, I don't want the scoreless innings like that immediately. Like that ended.
Not in San Diego anymore.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts on that.
Well,
Yeah.
To your point, I think the Yankees, if they face adversity, and I don't know if they will in this series, I think they'll come through. Those guys have experience. Soto's won a World Series. Judge has been in the playoffs. Stanton, even though I'm not a big fan, he's been around. Those guys have the
He's a
experience.
postseason guy.
Yeah.
But look, Cleveland's not going to be a walk in the park for them, I don't think. If you get in a close game, like 9th inning, you have Emmanuel Clase in the pen for Cleveland, who is the best reliever in baseball this year.
Yeah, but you got to get there.
You do have to get
You
there.
got
That's
to
a
get
good
there.
point.
And I don't know that Cleveland's going to bring a lead into the 8th inning.
You have Garrett Cole on the mound tonight, and Jose Ramirez historically does very well against Garrett Cole. And that's the heart of the order, really.
Well, we'll see tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cleveland, I think if they get to the 5th or 6th inning with a lead, they can win the game. That's how they're thinking.
Yes.
So we'll see. I don't think the Yankees are going to lose to them. The Yankees are a better team, I think, but you never know what can happen here.
And look, this will be the only time you'll ever hear these words from my mouth. But I'm rooting for the Yankees in this series. I really am. The last time a Subway Series World Series happened was 2000. I was born in 2004. I've never seen it in my lifetime. I really like to.
Well, Martin and I both picked the Mets and Cleveland. No, the Mets and Yankees, right?
You picked Mets Yankees. I picked Mets Cleveland.
And who'd you pick? I know Mets.
Mets. I don't remember. I think it might have been Kansas City. I really thought they were going to get hot and run, but
Well,
that didn't end up happening, clearly.
so it's very exciting. So tomorrow night, you got Severino. And Severino pitched pretty well. It's been,
Solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's solid. You can score runs off him, but he could throw 7 strong too.
Yes. Which one shows up?
Yeah, and Walker Bueller, he's rounding into form after his second Tommy John operation. His last 2 outings have been pretty good.
Uh-huh.
So I think they saved him. Now that I think about it, he pitches good on the road. He's got a slow heartbeat too.
Mhm.
He doesn't get intimidated. So I think
That's why they saved them.
I think so.
What are your thoughts on that whole bullpen game 2 approach?
I was against it. I would have pitched Bueller. You got a chance to win 2 at home, and then you're guaranteed you're coming back home for the series. When you got a team down, and they had the Mets down that first game, Senga looked like a deer in the headlights, and I thought the younger players on the team were a little bit, I don't want to say intimidated, but maybe there was a touch of that. And when that snowball started rolling downhill, I think that they fed into that and said, oh man, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
So I would have started Bueller. You got your foot on a guy's throat, step on it. That's what I would have done. They're much better minds than mine decide what they're going to do. But I think tomorrow night's going to be an exciting game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I agree with you with the whole bullpen game for LA yesterday. I don't think they should have done that. But, because, you look at this Mets roster, they're not experienced at all outside of Lindor. No one else has really been there. Vientos, this is his first full season in the league, and he spent 30 games in AAA. It wasn't even a full season.
That's right.
Alvarez hasn't been there.
He's kept
Nimmo hasn't
McNeil
been
on the
there.
bench, hasn't
Yeah, McNeil's been staying, which I'm happy about.
Me too.
I think we talked about it. We always called McNeil a fake tough guy.
he? He is.
He's not the Jeff we used to know, the batting title winning Jeff. He's just not the same as he used to be, and it's sad as a Mets fan to see that. But that's the reality of the situation, I think.
Iglesias is getting cold here right now. I wouldn't be surprised against a tough righty seeing McNeil get a shot. I'd probably in the outfield because Nimmo he's hurt, right? Something's up there with his.
Is he hurt?
With his foot. Yeah. So we'll see. Listen, healthy Nimmo, I want in there. McNeil, you're right. I think he's going to have one last moment. We'll see. He was, up until that injury in early September, he had come back after the All-Star game. I think he wants it to have the opportunity, but, we'll see. I like Acuna on the defensive end in the late innings, so I'm not sure where, McNeil would fit in if he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bullpen approach, listen, if you're going to do it, I think Roberts, I agree. I line up your best guy.
Yep.
Now Bueller he could have pitched game 7. Maybe he could still go, after pitching game 3. I don't know. But he didn't use when the second inning. Why didn't you take him out against Vientos and pitch? It's a lot of Monday morning quarterback looking back. You walk Lindor to get. I don't like walking bases loaded. Lindor's hot. You don't want to let him beat you. But the moment to take out Knack would have been before he faced Vientos, I thought.
And they intentionally walked to get to Vientos.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't like walking the bases loaded. I don't like. But you got Lindor. He just hit the home run. He's a big. He's proven now. He's so. I'm not going to fault Roberts for doing that, but I probably wouldn't have.
Okay, well, here we are. I think we all agree the Yankees are going to represent the American League.
It's looking that way.
Now we got the New York Metropolitans. And what's your thoughts? How many games and who's going to? I know you think.
I'm thinking it's going to go 6 or 7. Right now I can't say. I don't think anyone could really say there's a definitive winner who's going to win this series.
Right.
Flip a coin. My blue and orange is hoping for the Mets. But, if the Dodgers win and beat the Mets, that's fine too. Nobody expected the Mets to be in this situation to begin with.
It's the best of 5 now with 3 games in New York. So, I like the Mets' chances, but the Dodgers are not going away easy. Maybe the Mets take 2 or 3 at a Citi Field. They go back, and then they can get. I don't know what the pitching lineup's going to be at that point. Who would be projected? So that's really, if Manai's going Game 6, I like their chances in 6.
I agree. The only thing that scares me with LA though is like the Mets have Lindor and Vientos who are doing a lot of the offensive heavy lifting right now. The Dodgers have so many guys that could win you a ball game. I mean, you look at Ohtani, you look at Mookie. I know Freddie's a little hurt right now, but he
Yeah.
single-handedly
That's
could win
a
you a
big
baseball
factor.
game.
Well, you know what the Dodgers did yesterday? 1 through 5, 0 for 19.
Really, I didn't even realize that.
Yep.
I think it takes Freeman 4.5 hours before the game to get ready. That ankle is ripped. You see him
No, he
limping
can't.
home.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really gutting it out, and he really shouldn't be playing. He's hitting, but he just can't run.
Yeah, he can't. I
So
mean,
that's
he's always had a good glove.
What did he
right?
have 2 doubles in game 1?
yeah. No, he's hit.
Yeah.
He can't run, and that's a factor.
Yeah.
I think Ohtani will snap out of it. Ohtani will have some moments in this series.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting hits, but he hit one off the wall in the second game. First game.
First game.
So I think he'll have some moments. I think this 6-7 game series. I think this series ends in
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah, I do. I agree with that. And who knows?
And if the Dodgers win, I'm going to buy a package of Gutierrez chicken meatballs and Stop and Shop and celebrate.
Oh, really? All right. So then you want me to root for the Dodgers for that? It's going to take a lot more than one package of meatballs.
If the Mets win, I'll buy one and sell.
All right. Good. That's an even off.
Okay. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.